Hey everybody, it's Brandon. I'm back, and we're going to be talking about the Mutant Menace of Lab 47. This is a level 3 adventure for Mutant Crawl Classics. I'll be spoiling this, of course. It's by Stephen Newton. Once again, he puts out great adventures. Cool cover by Doug Kovacs. It is available on Ttrpg as well as on Goodman Games website, because this is, as of this video right now being recorded, the latest adventure from Goodman Games for Mutant Crawl Classics. Now, I do know they are going to be doing a Tome of Adventure for Mutant Crawl Classics, so that's cool. And after I'm done with this, I will continue on with Mutant Crawl Classics with some more third-party stuff. So fear not, there will be more Mutant Crawl Classic stuff from me in the future. And if you like this video, of course, let me know what you think about it. And I hope you enjoy it. This has been a really fun run to go through all these Mutant Crawl Classics adventures. I've got some of my favorites, and I think most of them are all really cool. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this one. So I like stuff like this adventure. The Mutant Menace of Lab 47. Lab 47 is already a little bit of a clue. When you go into this front page here, got a great piece of art. This guy's getting snatched up by this dragon bear thing. And the Seekers are like, hey, no, don't take our buddy. And there's a bunch of bodies down here. It's just a really cool piece of art. And Lab 47, when you first open up, you start reading about it, it says it is inspired by conspiracy theories that surround Area 51. And I think that's cool. I enjoy conspiracy theories about Area 51. And this is for 4 to 5 third-level characters. And it says it took at least 2 4-hour sessions to complete this adventure and often resulted in at least one PC's death. So what's going to happen is something's going to obviously bring you here to Lab 47. That's usually how it goes. Something interferes with the normal day life of your tribe, and you need to go check it out. And so you're going to travel, and you're going to have encounters, and you're going to search stuff, and you're going to finally come to Lab 47, where you'll then enter into the dungeon part of this adventure. We've got great maps here. We've got kind of like a fueling station. There is a neat like sand shark that feeds on electricity. It's going to attack you. There's a cool museum over here you're going to be able to search. It's got some neat areas for you to kind of start off the adventure at. You're kind of going at a slow pace until you get to the lab, and then it's going to be on. But you're going to come to the Trevino Research Base, and you're going to, of course, there's going to be some areas that are above the surface that you're going to search through, and they're going to give you a lot of information there about what's going on. I do like this map here. It says 2 miles to 17 here, so 2 miles down is going to be this. I just like that, they made it so that the map could all be there in this nice little half page here. So I think that's cool. There's going to be, of course, a lot of sentry bots and some things you're going to have to kind of break into. Robots are going to try to kill you or question what you're doing. There's going to be some hologram type things that's going to tell you some information, and it will let you know piece by piece what's going on. It's going to give you the information you need to piece together the story about what's happening. And I'm going to kind of go back through after we flip through the whole book here. Then you get to actual Lab 47 down below. Again, great maps. You're going to take a lift down here, and then you're going to traverse this. There's a little bit more stuff going on when it comes to, as you can see from the art here, is aliens. And so I'll be talking about that here in a second. Caring for mutant babies. So, I like to just kind of flip through and say, like, what some of the stuff that I might interact with or come across in this adventure. What does it have that's kind of maybe different? And stuff like this. Caring for mutant babies. That's interesting. We've got some artifact checks. Obviously, there's going to be some interesting government technology down there. Then you've got Demos, and this is going to be, in essence, it's going to be a big missile that's going to destroy the area. And so you're going to need to, of course, go down there and try to stop it. There's a lot more to that, and you see that here with this disabling the Demos missile. There's a lot more to it, obviously. Cool piece of art here by Peter Mullen. Continue the adventure. Always like these things here. We do have some interesting new artifacts, as well as those ascended ones, the new antagonists. It's a new archaic alignment here, so you can join them. They are pure strain humans who believe that the current mutant-filled state of Ttrpg was not caused by the Great Disaster, but was already underway during the pre-disaster time of the Ancients. They believe the Ancients were engineering the next evolution of humankind in hidden laboratories, that's that whole Area 51 thing, and military complexes. They are driven to the quest to find Mutant Alpha, who would represent the pure evolution of humanity as envisioned by the Ancients. So they're neat, they're interesting. You do have some new monsters here. It's actually pronounced grease goblins, so that's interesting as well. And you then have aliens, and this is their stats right here. They've got levitation, some cool powers too as well. And then that kind of is the full quick overview of the adventure, and now I'm going to go ahead and break into it a little bit more. So I like the whole backstory about this has happened before the Great Disaster, in which you have like the dark net, conspiracy theories online, Lab 47. We're doing interesting experiments. Spaceship craft is that crashed long ago is involved. There are alien bodies. And I just think that's a neat thing, because I think a lot of us, especially with those that enjoy role-playing games, science fiction, enjoy Area 51. So, this is something that's right up our alley. And what I would tell you to do is, you go into Lab 47, is to maybe take some other things that conspiracy-wise of today, and place them in Lab 47 for your players to find them. It's just neat to have a little bit more stuff that's going to make them kind of smile and say, okay, I get it. That's interesting as well. So there was a program. It's called the Containment Protocol. Pretty much if anything was going to happen to these aliens they were doing these experiments on, it was going to destroy the whole area and clean it all up in case there was maybe one of the aliens got out. There are mainly corpses of the aliens. They're in these biosacks that are filled with nanobots that help them prevent deterioration from any Terra-based bacteria. But should something have happened, the program was going to take place. But unfortunately, one of the military-grade bots called Zeta, a Sentinel bot, was programmed to prevent the aliens' removal from their specific authorized areas within Lab 47. It wasn't told what to do. So when they started the containment protocol, the Zeta decided to kill everybody. And so as a result, it was interrupted, and the Great Disaster struck the planet. It left Lab 47 and its dangerous contents mostly intact. So you've got some recent things that have happened. These Ascendant Ones, they're a sect of mutant-strained humans. They're obsessed with finding the source of human mutation, and that's going to bring them to Lab 47. There is an alien. His name's Trout. They nicknamed it Trout. Has come back to life temporarily. It's aware that what's happened is, throughout all these years, it has released, and creatures have kind of messed with the bodies and stuff of these alien bodies. They have created these chimeras, these grease goblins, and they are an inferior version of these aliens. They're in essence kind of like your monster that you're going to be fighting throughout this adventure, and finding their bodies and things. So Trout realizes he's got to blow up the whole station with the whole Deimos missile, in essence. So that's what Trout's trying to do. One thing that's interesting, you got this alien DNA positive PCs. So some mutants and animals throughout time have some of this alien DNA in their genetic makeup. And it's incompatible with Terran plant life, so Plantians are unaffected. And so it's just something you're going to make a luck check, and it's going to affect how your character interacts with some of the safety protocols within Lab 47. We've got our comm badge suits here. They're very important. It's going to open up certain doors. You know how these adventures kind of go when it comes to Mutant Crawl Classics. And then we're going to explore some of the outside places. We're going to get a couple of our tidbits of evidence and breadcrumbs taking us to Lab 47. There is a hum that's in the air, and mutants that have sensitive hearing, they can feel this hum, and it doesn't feel good. And it's another thing to kind of bring you towards Lab 47. So that's an interesting aspect to get the characters moving. There is one place that's very interesting, and I thought was kind of sad, was this message box. Pretty much when people knew that the world was being destroyed, think people going to Area 51 and like there's a message box and they leave messages that's like, please take me, let me come inside, protect me, I have children, it's just, I don't know, it's a neat aspect. I love anything that kind of brings it back to before the Great Disaster and kind of brings some humanity to it. So I thought that was an interesting little area there. Then you're going to have the barrier of the Lab 47. It's got a couple of shimmering barriers and outer barriers. They're going to do some damage to you. And they were pretty much made to kind of keep these aliens in as well. And then you're going to search through the Trevino research base. Going through different stuff, you're going to have a couple of encounters for some stuff that it's inside that area, some random base encounters. And that's pretty cool. Things that are going to happen in here, you'll roll up. And there is a good bit of combat throughout it, but there is a lot of, obviously, investigation going through this government research facility. You'll go to the command center where you can kind of see what's going on with the place, like the security status, the biocontainment status. It's going to give you some good information about it. Hangar 1 is interesting, where it's got kind of like the hull of the ship that the aliens that crashed and that was retrieved. It's a nil space craft and that we're doing research on, but it's kind of been picked apart and it's only kind of the skeleton of this ship. It's still neat and it's going to give you a little bit more push as the characters are starting to investigate further. There is an interesting mechanic bot here that can give you some information as well about what's going on with the place. So we always that little bit of information dump, usually by a robot or something like that, or computer system. You're going to find out what's causing the hum, so that's cool, and it has to deal, of course, with the aliens. You're going to go, the map here is cool because going all the way down here to this base control tower, because there used to be kind of like an airport here where they could land, and it's all been covered up by dirt and stuff, but the base of the control tower is still available for you to check out, and it's going to be some interesting little investigations there with this dragon bears, and that's the picture right here. They have infiltrated this place, and you're going to have to take care of them, but they're pretty nasty, and they've got some cubs and stuff. But it's going to give you some good information there, and you'll be able to see far off in the distance another area, which is where the Deimos missile silo is. And I think that's neat, just how it kind of gives you a little hint. If you get up there, you can see something else and kind of question and wonder what it is. So you're searching through Lab 47. You're finally going to get down there. You're going to find like a morgue here, the table where they experimented on the alien bodies. There's a vault here. There is it's a gene splicing station. I always like these. This is another way for you to kind of get PCs if you need them. And then there's going to be these little nurseries here where they try to grow like plants, a plant nursery, mutant nursery, using some of this alien genetics. And that's where caring for mutant babies is going to come up. And because there are some mutants, some babies that you can take control of and care for them, and it's just a neat little aspect that could come back to haunt you should you treat them poorly. You're going to have the vault, which is going to have some interesting stuff in it as well for you to search. There's going to be this preservative nanobot goo swarm that's inside those biosacks, and of course you're going to have some of the alien bodies, kind of the remnants of them, as well as some of the grease goblins. And some other stuff as well. It's going to take you to the incinerator because that's where they were ultimately supposed to be. Everything was supposed to be incinerated, and it'll take you there. And then you're going to have this outside here. You see the map. You're going to have this. It kind of breaks through here. These grease goblins have got a warren here, which you can take those guys on. It's going to lead you obviously to the Deimos station, and this is where it's all going to come to a head here. You're going to search around here, find out some more stuff there, get into some more combat with these grease goblins, but then this is the main battle area where Trout is there. Somehow he's got these tortoise rangers he's taken. They're in his employment in essence, and you're gonna have this big fight. Trout's gonna try to set off he's going to try to fight you from stopping you from setting off the missile. The missile is going to be going. There is kind of like a timer in this adventure because this missile is going to go off. And certain things along the way will tell you, how much time is left. But you're going to have this great battle with him and his two tortoise rangers here, and just a really cool piece of art. And it's going to be a couple different ways that you'll be able to disable the Deimos missile before it takes off. If you don't, of course, it's going to blow up this whole area like 5 miles and everybody will be killed. So hopefully you'll put Trout down and his tortoise rangers. There's a couple of bots there too, so it's going to be a really nice big battle. And then there's some cool continuing the adventure things here. The Ascended ones, that's that cult that believe that, and you'll see some of them throughout the adventure as well, that this is supposedly where Mutant Alpha, the very first mutant, came from. They might seek revenge. The Ascended ones left clues behind. There's going to be some bodies discarded by the goblins in a small notebook containing the cult's research, some more information about Mutant Alpha. And then there's a thing here, reptilian frequency. It could be that PCs learned that the tribe's mammals, those of subtype amphibian, are starting to hear sounds from a race of subterranean reptiles known as the Archons, who have been awakened by Trout's death. So it's kind of like a little chain reaction thing that happens that you can continue the adventure forward. Cool artifacts here. I like the biosac. I like the biomesh T-shirt. All the artifacts are really cool. And then again, you've got this great new archaic alignment here that you can join. There are benefits to them, and then new stats for these monsters. So overall, it's a really cool adventure. I think you could really work on the whole Area 51 aspect of it. Put that in your game a little bit more and make Lab 47 be a little bit more current with some of the stuff that maybe your players know about, and just have some fun with it. Maybe watch some X-Files or something like that. Play some X-Files music or something. But really cool adventure. I dig it a lot. The Mutant Menace of Lab 47. So pick this up if you want, PDF, and print on Goodman Games website. Really enjoyed making all these videos here from the Goodman game lines, and there will be more, I hopefully from Goodman Games, new adventures, and I'll be checking those out once I get my hands on those. That'll probably be down the road once they're released. So look forward to making third-party Mutant Crawl Classics adventures videos. That should be cool. And I've got other stuff, of course, to show you about, coming soon. So as always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.